Must avoid these foods if you're taking these medications. On screen, montage of various medications and foods with a warning symbol. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Health Flare. Are you taking medication and wondering if your diet is affecting your treatment? If you've ever thought, can this food interact with my meds? Then you're in the right place. Today's video is all about the foods you should avoid if you're on certain medications. So stick around till the end, there's some crucial information you won't want to miss. Managing medication and diet can be tricky. With so many potential interactions, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But don't worry, I'm here to break it down for you. We'll explore which foods can impact the effectiveness of your medications, and how to navigate your diet while ensuring your health and safety. Text on screen, foods to avoid with medications. Let's start by understanding why food interactions with medications matter. Medications can have specific dietary restrictions because certain foods can alter how the body absorbs or processes the drug. This can lead to reduced effectiveness or even adverse effects. Here's a quick overview of what we'll cover today: foods that interact with blood thinners, foods to avoid with antibiotics, foods that affect antidepressants, foods and heart medications, dietary tips for managing interactions. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods to avoid and how to make informed choices about your diet. Text on screen. 1. Foods that interact with blood thinners. First up, let's talk about blood thinners. Common medications like warfarin can interact with certain foods, which might increase your risk of bleeding or clotting. So, what should you watch out for? Cut to host with graphics of foods. Foods to avoid. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, and other leafy greens are high in vitamin K, which can reduce the effectiveness of blood thinners. Cranberry products, cranberries and cranberry juice can increase bleeding risk. Alcohol. Excessive alcohol can interfere with how your medication works. Tip: instead of completely eliminating leafy greens, try to keep your intake consistent and inform your doctor of any major changes in your diet. Section transition music. Text on screen. 2. Foods to avoid with antibiotics. Next, let's discuss antibiotics. Some foods and drinks can affect how well antibiotics work or increase side effects. Cut to host with graphics of foods. Foods to avoid. Dairy products. Calcium in dairy can interfere with the absorption of certain antibiotics. Alcohol. Alcohol can reduce the effectiveness of antibiotics and increase the risk of side effects. Grapefruit. It can interfere with how some antibiotics are metabolized. Tip: if you're on antibiotics, try to separate your dairy intake by a few hours from when you take your medication. Text on screen. 3. Foods that affect antidepressants. Moving on to antidepressants, certain foods can impact how well these medications work or lead to unwanted side effects. Cut to host with graphics of foods to avoid. Tyramine-rich foods, foods like aged cheeses, cured meats, and fermented products can cause serious interactions with MAO inhibitors. Caffeine. Excessive caffeine can increase anxiety and interfere with some antidepressants. Tip: if you're on MAO inhibitors, it's crucial to avoid high tyramine foods and consult with your healthcare provider about your caffeine intake. Text on screen. 4. Foods and heart medications. Finally, let's look at foods that can impact heart medications. Managing your heart health involves more than just taking your meds. Your diet plays a significant role. Cut to host with graphics of foods to avoid. High sodium foods. Processed foods, salty snacks, and fast foods can counteract the effects of heart medications. Grapefruit can interfere with statins, which are commonly prescribed for cholesterol. Tip: opt for fresh, whole foods and reduce your intake of high-sodium products to better support your heart health. Text on screen. 5. Dietary tips for managing interactions. Now that we've covered specific food interactions, let's talk about some general tips for managing your diet while on medication. Cut to host with a healthy plate of food. General tips. Consult your doctor. Always discuss any dietary changes with your healthcare provider. Maintain consistency. Try to keep your diet consistent to avoid fluctuations that could impact your medication. Read labels. Be mindful of hidden ingredients that might interact with your medications. Tip: keeping a food diary can help track any changes and ensure that your diet supports your medication regimen. Text on screen. Recap and key takeaways. Let's quickly recap what we've covered today. Blood thinners, avoid high vitamin K foods, cranberry products, and excessive alcohol. Antibiotics, limit dairy, alcohol, and grapefruit. Antidepressants, watch out for tyramine-rich foods and manage caffeine intake. Heart medications, reduce sodium and avoid grapefruit. Cut to host with a positive expression. Remember, your health is a partnership between your medication and your lifestyle choices. Making informed decisions about your diet can significantly impact how well your medications work and your overall well-being. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to your channel name for more health tips and updates. Got questions or personal experiences with food and medications? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.